Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing on this Tuesday? Happy Tuesday to y'all. It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE80, aka 13th Wonder of the World, aka Mike DZ. So nice to join y'all, to talk to y'all today on this Tuesday for the Point of View. Very special edition of Point of View. Not going to talk about sports right now. I'm just going to have a special podcast for the kids, and of course the grown people. Shout out to the Point Place family, Bobby Reezy, M Breezy, Naya, my sister. Love all y'all. Thank y'all for listening to me on the Point of View on this great Tuesday. I hope everything going swell for everybody today on this Tuesday. Not much to talk about tonight on the sports. I know that tonight is going to be a lot of NBA going on as well as a lot of college basketball, and I'll talk to you about that in the second podcast. But the first podcast is going to be very fun for all of us, including grown and kids. I'm going to talk about my top 10 favorite video games I played growing up. I still play them a little bit. I just don't play them as much. But this is between now and the age of 20, which was 20 years ago. And if you notice, I don't have a lot of them on here that's up to date, but I'll just talk about the ones that I have. And this is a two-part podcast of this, folks. So if you don't agree with some of my selections, just let me know, what was your favorite games growing up. But I'm quite sure a lot of people would like these that I got. The top 10 throwback video games. I got one honorable mention that I still love to play to this game, to this day. And I know a lot of people didn't like this game because they thought that it sucked and it was whack. But me and my boy, Pretty Boy Slate, and he knows what I'm talking about, used to burn this game to death, man, when we were children, man, to where Grandma Bertha, shout out to Grandma Bertha, rest in peace, would tell us, boy, y'all get off that game. Y'all playing that game all day long. And we used to be trying to beat this game, and we would beat it. And then after we would beat it, we would see who could beat the game in the quickest time. Like, I would have a clock time for mine when I would beat it, and he would have a time for the clock when he would beat it. So sometimes I would get him by 2 seconds. Sometimes he would get me by like 2 minutes, but that was just healthy competition. Shout out to Pretty Boy Slate. Super Mario 2 is the honorable mention, where Mario was in Dream World the whole time. It wasn't the Japanese version of the Lost Levels like it was back in the day, where they pulled the game because they thought the Mario 2, the Japan version, was too much of like Super Mario 1, which was tough and hard. But, Super Mario 2 was very, very easy. And I would cheat because after board 1, 3, I would go straight to board 4. I didn't want to go through board 2 and 3. And then I would get where 4, 2 is and go to the board take you to board 6 instead of going through 5. But it was interesting to see this, it was a great game. It's still a great game. I still play it to this day. Super Mario 2, that's my honorable mention. Number 10. Duck Hunt. One of the first games I ever had was the pack of the Nintendo with the orange zapper gun. And that game there was set for Duck Hunt. Now, I didn't know this until I got older, that it was a 3-part game to this at times. It was like Mario 1, Duck Hunt, and there was a racing game that went along with it for those that got the special edition of it. But Duck Hunt was a great game to me because, the more you would play, the faster the game would get with the ducks. And it was also clay shooting on there as well. You had 3 bullets. You would miss one, the dog start laughing at you. And you wish you could shoot the dog. I always wanted to shoot the dog, but you could never shoot the dog. But Duck Hunt is a classic. And I wish they would remake the game Duck Hunt if Nintendo would, put it in their heart to just make another version of Duck Hunt on for the youth today so they can experience the game of Duck Hunt as well. I would love to see them remake Duck Hunt if they already haven't. Number 9, Max Payne 3 on Xbox 360. Man, me and my boy Slate still play this game to this day. He talks about it a lot. He loved playing Max Payne 3 on Xbox 360. I remember when I got this game, I was like, man, I'm going to be up all night playing this. Shout out to Fadeaway, because me and Fadeaway was playing the game as well. And we would watch these games and we would play these games, and Max Payne was a ultimate killer on that game. He was a shooter. He was a cop, but he was like one of those hard cops, that didn't take nothing off nobody. But it was a great game. And folks, these are my opinions, and these are my list of games that I enjoy to play. So number 9 is Max Payne on Xbox 360. Excuse me, I had to get a drink. Number 8, Capcom versus Marvel on Xbox 360. That was the game where you had all of Street Fighter against Spider-Man and X-Men and Tick and Ultimate, the Incredible Hulk, not the Ultimate Hulk, the Incredible Hulk and, Captain America and Iron Man. This was a great game, man, a great fighting game. And I wish they would make more of these. I think they have, but I want to see it come to the new gen of games. I would love to see it on a Xbox S series or a PS5. Those were the games, folks. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you it wasn't. I sat up all night playing these games, and I think in the end you have to beat Thanos, if I'm not mistaken, on one. But on another one, I know that's like the Ultimate Capcom or something like that, which was a great game, but it didn't make the list. But this was great to have this game go out with Capcom versus Marvel. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And if I could, I would try to buy the game again if I could see it anywhere in the stores. They're thinking about discontinuing, which they have discontinued, the Xbox 360. And it looks like maybe after this year, they're going to discontinue the PS4 and the Xbox One and go with PS5 and the Xbox S series. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that I'm going to have to figure out a way to get me a PS5 coming soon. Also, ladies and gentlemen, that's number 8, Capcom versus Marvel. Number 7 is also a fighting game, and that is Mortal Kombat versus DC. And before I talk about this, Street Fighter versus Tekken was I think that was a great game, man. And I should have put it on here, but I didn't. But I missed that one too as well, because Tekken 8 is out right now, and it's congratulations to Tekken having another run at games. And I love to play them. I love to play them, folks. And that's just me. Loving to play my games at times. Still play them. And that's just, a way to pass time. They say grown people don't need to be playing video games at times. But it's grown people that are making money off of these games with their voices, with their AIs, with their movement, they're models and all that. So it's grown people that are making money off of these. I've always wanted to be a video game creator, to create my own video game. Maybe I'll do that one day before God calls me home. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I want to do. That's on the bucket list as well. I don't care how goofy it is or how, I want to make my own video game one day. So, but Mortal Kombat versus DC. You had Superman versus Raven, Batman versus Sub-Zero, guys like that. You know, Wonder Woman against Katana. You know, you had all these type of people fighting against each other, you know, Raiden against Flash. You know, you had Scorpion against, who else is there in the DC comics? You know, Aquaman and all these guys. I don't think Aquaman was on the game, but, you know, you had what would happen, fantasy matchups in this game, which was great for business. And they remade it, made another one. And I think they made another one because I think they got one with the Ninja Turtles on there with Freddy, Predator, Jason, and all these guys on there, man. You know, it was interesting to see all that come to life because there was people asking, what would happen if great for business. And Mortal Kombat versus DC, this was the one that was on 360. And I'm telling you guys, if you still got your 360 like I do, I still have mines. And I still play this from time to time. And you're going to love it. Yes, indeed, you're going to love it, folks. But that's just one of them right there. That is number 7. Number 6 is one of my favorite, and I think it's everybody's favorite, Super Mario 3 on Nintendo. The game had evolved from 2. On 3, you saw Mario able to fly. You saw that Mario was able to have a frog suit. You saw Mario was able to still fight Cooper, but, you know, have more, you know, more adventure in Super Mario 3, which was the greatest Mario game to come out on Nintendo. And I think a lot of people now, as the kids have now in the different generations, they respect Super Mario 3 because it has now evolved now on the Nintendo Wii. But I played it on the Nintendo and on the Super Mario, on the Super Nintendo when they remade, you know, the Mario All-Stars game with all 3 of them on there, which was great for business. So it's absolutely great that they remade Super Mario 3 for another generation to see it. But great for this helmet of what we call video games now. Also, number 5, the first Super Nintendo game was made with Super Mario World, the greatest Super Nintendo game there was in the Mario history. When Super Mario came out with Super Mario World, you got introduced to Yoshi. You were able to fly better. You were able to do all these certain things, go back into the boards and get more men. You know, 99 was where you stopped at, but, excuse me, it was great to see Super Mario World be as great as it was. Great adventure, a long game, but great adventure. I think the game, if you just played it, it would be like 4 hours. You had 4 hours to spend on a Super Nintendo trying to beat this. Absolutely great. Absolutely great gem of a game. And I had a book on this, but I didn't play most of the games that were on there. But now I know what it is now. And I'm glad that, you know, I was able to play these were going on in my childhood, folks. Super Mario World was great. Number 4, the Tekken series on either Xbox, PS1, all the games. The Tekken series is amazing. My favorite character on there was Hero Ring. I think that's how you say his name. The one that do the powerful kicks. But you know, guys like King, which was the wrestler with the King helmet, King face, and all that. It was good for business. Tekken is a great game. When we were younger, we used to play this game at one of my boys' house. Shout out to Furman. We used to play this game at his house on PS1 because at the time PS1 had it. And we used to play that game all day long. Furman would have the game until I bought the game on PS1. Then I bought it again on PS2 with the tag tournament, which should have been on the list, but it didn't make it. But I'm telling you, Tekken was absolutely a great game to try to counteract Mortal Kombat and all these Street Fighter and all these other fighting games they had out. So it was good to see that happen as well. Shout out to the Tekken series, which is going on now. By the way, Tekken 8 is out on PS5 and Xbox S, if I'm not mistaken. Go get it and enjoy it. Go enjoy Tekken. That game is for grown people to play as well, not for kids. Well, kids can play it, but you know grown people are going to want to play that. So it is what it is. So go get your Tekken 8, guys. Number 4, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. CJ was the man. CJ was the first guy on PS2 that could swim and do all this thing in the Grand Theft Auto series. Because most of them, when they did the first one with Tommy and Lance Vance, guys like that, who was played, I think, played by Miami Vice's Ricardo Tubbs, which name is Philip Michael Thomas. And it was great for business when they came out with San Andreas, man. You talking about a great game, and kids don't need to play this game. When you see anything that got Grand Theft Auto on it, if you're not old enough to play this, do not play this game. Because it's raunchy, you know. It's things that you should not even be trying to figure out. You need to just enjoy your childhood. But we played this game, and it was best for business for us because CJ was the man. CJ and Franklin, who both played voiced by the same guy. But man, when they came out with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I was like, are you kidding me? Straight from the West, everything. It was a West Coast game, but people down here played it all the time. We loved it, beat it and everything. But it was a great game for my coming up because I played a lot. Shout out to Grand Theft Auto, even though they're coming out with Grand Theft Auto next year or 2026, one of them. But yeah. And let's get to the friendly one. And that was number 3. Number 2, NBA Live 2001. And you say to yourself, why Live 2001? Live 2000 could have made this list because Live 2000 brought back Michael Jordan as a playable character. But on Live 2001, Michael Jordan was already a character on the game because of the simple fact he was in the league playing that year for the Washington Wizards. And because he was playing for the Washington Wizards, they put MJ on the game to make Michael Jordan as valuable as he could be. So that's why they put him on the game, folks. And this was my favorite game because at the time I was glad to see Michael Jordan back in the league and especially a player for the Wizards. And because he was back in the league, I was happy that Jordan was back because I wanted to see Jordan play at an older age for the Washington Wizards. But NBA Live 01 was great. Kevin Garnett was on the cover. The year before that was Tim Duncan. Am I not mistaken? If I'm not mistaken, Tim Duncan. It was a great game. PS1, me and my boy Fadeaway used to burn it out. and we would play it, and we would play it until we couldn't play it no more. So that's what we were. That what we were with that, folks. And this is just part one of my throwback games list. Number two. That was number two. Number one is WWF SmackDown. Shut your mouth. Know your role, shut your mouth. PS1. Man, we used to be at Furman House burning this game up too, bro. I loved it. I loved it. All I needed was my memory card and the game. And I would take the game and we would all take turns playing. Rock was the man. I would play with Rock on there because I would always get him down and people's elbow him to death till it was knockout. It was one of my favorite games though. And it's number one because it was very special to play WWF SmackDown, Know Your Role. It was great for business. It was one of the greatest games to ever play in the history of sports games. And I'm here to tell you, this was a short one, but this was part one of my throwback favorite video games. I will be back on in a minute with a point of view report. Not going to be that long, just going to be a few minutes. I'm going to talk about a couple of things. Then tomorrow when I do the AEW Dynamite, hopefully when I do the AEW Dynamite preview, as well as the NXT recap and some of the sports recaps, I will give you guys part one of my favorite throwback video games. And this one here, you're going to like a little more. Let me know if you guys like the comments of this. If not, then I understand. But until then, God bless you. God keep you. Enjoy your night. I'll be back with you shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with the point of view. Shout out to the Point Place family, Bobby Reezy and Breezy. Nighty night, my sister. Thank y'all for tuning in to the point of view. This is part two of it. Part two is not going to be a part of about the throwback video games today. I'm going to do another podcast. This is on sports. A lot of NBA games come on tonight. Just my picks on them. First game is going to be Pacers and Celtics. I think the Celtics will win tonight. They need a big game. Porzingis is back, as well as Halliburton's playing again tonight. So that could help Siakam and Buddy Hield and those boys on the Pacers. But Porzingis is back and help Tatum and Brown and Holiday and Derek White and all those boys. I think the Celtics win this game tonight. That's just my prediction. I'm hoping that I can win on my predictions tonight and not lose on them. Those of you that are putting your bets on, I hope everything go good with your spreads, your player performance, your over and unders, and all the things that you bet on tonight. I hope that you hit. I pray that God will bless you to hit so you can win you some money tonight. Second game is the Lakers and the Hawks. Anthony Davis is not playing tonight. That means that either Christian Wood or Jackson Hayes, are going to have to come out the woodwork and help D'Lo, AR-15, and LeBron as well. Last night, dirty hit by Dylan Brooks. He's talking trash still. He tries to be the LeBron stopper, and he can't stop LeBron. LeBron is still one of the greatest players in the game of basketball, doing it at 39 years old. And people need to just give the man his props. Father Time hasn't hit him yet. God's ability, God's grace, and his ability to help LeBron keep it going on. So I don't know. They according to the sheets, they got the Hawks winning this game by 5, which means Trae Young and Murray and all those boys are going to have a good game on the Hawks side. But if the Lakers want to make a statement, they'll win this game tonight. they will beat the Atlanta Hawks tonight and show them that they are still a legitimate team. They're 20. They're at 500, and the Lakers should not be at 500. They should be over that, but they don't have anybody else doing what they're supposed to. D'Lo's been playing great all of a sudden, and he's playing, like I say, he's playing for two reasons. He's playing to prove to everybody that he still has it, and he's playing because he's a trade piece for the Lakers to trade him. So we'll see what happens with that. But I might miss this one, but I'm gonna go for the Lakers tonight. I think the Lakers will win this game over the Hawks without AD out there. So we'll see what happens with that game as well. 76ers and the Warriors, that's the last game of the night, but I'm talking about it right now. I think that the Warriors have a chance to beat them tonight. It's going to take Steph, Clay, and all those boys in Golden State to try to stop Embiid because they have nobody. As good as Kevin Looney is, Kevin Looney is a four-time NBA champion. He's gonna catch you know what trying to stop Embiid. And if Joel Embiid is playing tonight, it's gonna be a rough night for the Warriors. If Maxey playing tonight, he's gonna play great. Tobias Harris and those boys. I don't know if the Warriors are going to win this game, guys. I don't know because this is going to be hard. If they do win this game, this will be a big game for them to win. But I don't know. It's a toss-up on me. I'm going to say the Sixers win this game. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with Philly. Raptors and Bulls. I think the Bulls win tonight. I think Kobe White and those boys play great. And I just want to see what they could do to beat these guys tonight. The Bulls need a big win. The Raptors are going to be okay. You know, they got Scotty Barnes and, they got R.J. Barrett they traded for. And, they got some pieces out there that can make something happen. So we'll see what happens in that game as well. Jazz and Knicks. The Knicks have won 7 in a row. I don't think they lose tonight. I think Bronson, along with, Randall, Josh Hart, and those boys in Anobi, I think that they can get the job done tonight. I think that they beat Utah, even though Utah got Marketing, Clarkston, and all those boys there. I think THT's on the end of the bench, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But they got a shot to make something happen. But I think the Knicks will win this game tonight as well. And that's all 5 of the NBA games that are coming on tonight. Let me get on what's going on with the LSU women. Somebody asked me about that. Right now they're losing. Right now they're not focused. I think they are the champions. South Carolina's coming. Of course, Caitlin Clark and them are coming. Connecticut's coming. So you got to figure out what you're going to do because those teams are coming for your crown. Kim Mookie has got to get them gamed up and ready to do what they need to do if they want to be the champions again. We got to see what happens with all this here. Hopefully, they can make something happen. We'll see. Not only that, Michigan State versus Michigan tonight. I'm going for Michigan State. I hope that the Spartans beat the Wolverines, beat them out the building. That's all I'm aiming for. Hopefully we can make this happen. Hopefully we can get this win tonight. That's my theory on that as well. A little bit about wrestling. NXT preview tonight is this. You're going to see, and I said this last night on the point of view, and I'll say it again tonight. We're going to see what happens when Roxanne takes on Tatum Paxley. That's going to be a match tonight. Also, it's going to be Trick and Mellow game versus LWO. The winners of that will go to the Dusty Cup and go up against Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin this Sunday, which will be on Peacock. NXT Vengeance Day will be this Sunday on Peacock as the PLE starts up their first pay-per-view of the year, as well as you're going to see Ignat Dragunov against Trick Williams for the title. That's another match that's going to take place. So Trick's going to wrestle twice. He may win both. He may win both. This will be great for him if he wins both. This guy is a star. Pat McAfee hit that on the head when he said that last night on Raw. Trick Williams is a star. Carmelo is too. But Trick Williams is a star. When he decides to go to the main roster, there ain't going to be nobody that can touch him. He is going to be phenomenal. If they book him right on the main roster, he is going to be a blast with the rocket on him, man. He's going to have the rocket fuel on him, man, to go. I'm telling you what I know for a fact. I'm telling you. This is exactly why I said what I said about Trick Williams a while back. He's good to go. Melo's good to go. Braun Breaker, he has been on the NXT roster for the last 2-3 years. It's time for him to come off the NXT roster and come to Raw or SmackDown. He'll fit the bill. They're building him up like the next Brock Lesnar. It's just that, and I'll have my comments on Brock Lesnar in a minute. But man, I'm telling you, this is exactly what WWE needs to do now. WrestleMania, the night after WrestleMania, surprises come. You'll see what happens. This is going to be interesting to see what happens. Andrade's on Raw. Naomi, a.k.a. Trinity, is going to be on the SmackDown roster where she groups back up with her husband, Jim Uso, and maybe she will be the girl that they want to be in the bloodline. So we'll see what happens with all of that as those moving parts go for tonight on NXT as well. But speaking of Brock Lesnar, there's a possibility that WWE might not bring him back for a while. The accusations is also on him. The accusations is also on John Laurinaitis. The accusations of all this sex trafficking is on those two guys now. I figured this was going to happen. When this problem came out, it was going to be a whole mountain of people they were going to blame. And these two guys are part of it. Is it over with? You don't know. Vince McMahon quit, resigned, his part of TKO. They gave him a cut. He's out of there. He has no say in WWE right now. He's probably not going to have any say in WWE no more. But it's interesting to see what happens with this ordeal. Excuse me, guys. The train is outside and it's right by the house. So if you hear it, don't pay it no mind. Not only that, this is disgusting. If this did happen, disgusting. You never want to be a part of this where you're just pimping out people for things like this. That's not what's up. It's just not cool at all, folks. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But there's a saying that Brock Lesnar might not be back to WWE for a while. We'll have to see. We will have to see what happens as this goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, a few recaps from last night, as I said. Seth Rollins will have a match at WrestleMania. Whoever wins the Elimination Chamber match in Australia will fight Seth Rollins at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight title. The question is, will they beat Seth Rollins? I don't know. I think that it has to be somebody that you can rely on, that you can think can win the title, and you can see them marketed as the World Heavyweight Champion. It's not going to be Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes is going to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I think you go with Rock versus Roman at SummerSlam if you're going to have a big match. If you don't have the match at Mania, you put this match between Rock and Roman Reigns at either a Money in the Bank, which is a big event, put it at either a WrestleMania, a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series. It has to be at one of those, or at Jeddah, at a Crown Jewel or something like that. It cannot be on one of these rinky-dink pay-per-views. Can't be. It has to be on a memorial, big pay-per-view, epic pay-per-view event, which is Money in the Bank, which is going to France or they're going out overseas this year, if I'm not mistaken. It has to be either, I think they're going to be in Canada somewhere. You could have it there. You could have it at SummerSlam, or you could have it at Survivor Series. It has to be at one of those big pay-per-views or a Crown Jewel. It has to be at one of those pay-per-views, man. It can't be at one of these small pay-per-views. It's just that. And I'm just saying that if you're going to have the match between Rock and Roman. Also, the same thing's going to happen with Becky Lynch. Whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, who I thought was going to be Nia Jax going up against Becky Lynch. And I think that match will still probably happen. Rhea Ripley, excuse me. I think that match will still happen at Elimination Chamber, but they will also have that number one contenders match as well. Because I think you can go with Rhea versus Nia at Australia to give her a showcase title match, and then showcase the other girls in the Elimination Chamber, where it possibly is going to be Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, and maybe the returning Raquel Gonzalez, or Rodriguez, whatever her name is, her last name is. I think it's Gonzalez in WWE. Also, not only that, also you make that type of match happen where you have that not Becky. Why I keep talking about Becky? Becky Lynch must be thinking about something or something. I don't know. Shout out to Becky Lynch. But folks, Bayley is going to challenge Io Sky for the title. It's going to happen. Because if you look at what's going on here, it's going to be Bayley versus Io Sky. It's not going to be Bayley versus Rhea Ripley, although that would be a great match to see. But it's not going to be that match, folks. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you. Not only that, folks, but also the way that everything is shaping up, it's going to be an interesting WrestleMania season coming through. Very intense matches, very intense storylines. Looks like it's going to be Awesome Truth against, like I said last night, against the Judgment Day. They may become the tag team champions at either Elimination Chamber or at Judgment Day. at WrestleMania when they beat the Judgment Day, because they're going to beat the Judgment Day if they set it up like that, folks. Not only that, but great stories are arcing. We'll have to see what happens as the road to WrestleMania starts kicking in now, as we get closer and closer to Elimination Chamber, as well as, WrestleMania. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mike D, a.k.a. DDE80. I'm out. I'll be back on tomorrow. God bless you. God keep you. Enjoy NXT, the NBA, college basketball, hockey, women's college basketball, everything that's a dose of your sports. This has been The Point of View. God bless you. God keep you. Have a good night.